winning. But this horse, it was just ahead of the favourite, Khaleesi.
Yeah, this favourite cost a few quid as a 2-year-old. Angus went into training initially with David Simcock and had a spell with Dan Skelton, and has been with Phil Kirby since May of 2021. He actually cost €700,000 as a 2-year-old. He had a couple of spins and didn't quite take to hurdling. He's got one win in the all-weather, and he's also got winning turf form as well. The all-weather win actually came earlier this year. He was only pipped by a neck at Wolverhampton last time, well clear of the third on that occasion, gone up £3 for that placed effort. And before that, despite running keenly, he won at Southwell over 1.5 miles. He tends to just miss the break a little bit, but he's well treated. If you go back to his Ascot win of 2020, he won there over 1.5 miles off a mark of 78. He has dropped to 65, and he's ridden by Graham Lee, as I say, now trained by Phil Kirby, in the colours of Darren and Anna Lee Yates. Very familiar colours, of course. The interesting one for me, well, there's two. Lednikov, first of all, the winner of this corresponding race, we think, because the races changed so much and staged at different times of the year. It was in April last year that Lednikov scrambled home by a neck over course and distance. Since then, been in decent form on the all-weather. More recently, just over 3 weeks ago, finishing fourth at Kempton, not beaten far. And then a quick-fire double at Southwell in November and December of last year, winning over 1.5 miles and 1.3 miles, both times by a head. You can see there that there's a jockey just chasing up a horse, and it's Pammy's jockey, Cam Hardy, that's arriving on foot down at the start. I'm assuming that Pammy won't be too far behind. But going back to Lednikov, Ivan Furtado, I remember speaking to him after he won this race. That was actually his first time at the trip. He'd stepped him up to 1.5 miles on that occasion, and he says he needs all that distance just to get rolling. So it was a good performance to win at Southwell over 1 mile and 3 furlongs in December. That's last year's winner, number 3, Lednikov. The grand strapping big filly is number 1, Belle of Annandale, carrying the colours of Richard and Catherine Gilbert. They have just won our earlier race with Thermoscope, another top weight. Billy Garrity actually saying afterwards that Thermoscope was a strong, keen running sort. He won under 10 stone. He says he'll make some hurdler if that's the way they want to go in the back end. He certainly won well. And this is a grand strapping filly by Australia, Belle of Annandale. Carries the colours of Richard and Catherine Gilbert. These days was bred by Mr. Johnson of Ayr Racecourse fame. Billy Garrity again riding for Keith Dalgleish. She was second on 4 occasions in turf last year. It remains a fact, though, that she's a 14-race maiden. I don't know if she enjoyed the trip to Wolverhampton towards the end of March when she finished 8th of 8th, and she was beaten over 16 lengths, and there was no explanation for the poor run. Smart Lass knows where the winning post is at Musselburgh. She's already in stall 7. She's a 5-time winner on turf, and her sole hurdling win actually came here at Musselburgh. In fact, on the flat, she's never won anywhere else. I think she can be excused the run at Thirsk last time. In fact, you could upgrade that because she didn't have the best of passages from the 2-pole. That was over this trip of 1.5 miles, and in the end, she still wasn't beaten very far. Ian Jardine trained with Andrew Mullen on board today in those Jerry McGladdery colours. So almost set, just one left to load by the look of it as we go back up to Mike for our 5th of the day. Having a good afternoon, Mike?
Loving it, Gordy. Thank you very much. Great Kalachi, the last one in. They're off and racing. And Pammy just reared up as the stalls open, almost anticipated a start for this Central Taxis Handicap Class 6 event. And he's doing it again here, Ballygarrity, by the looks of things. Belle of Annandale is being sent to an early lead, but only a narrow one because Smart Lass, who knows it so well round here, 5-time winner, racing in second, half a length down, with on the inside the blue and red hoops of Simple Star, racing in third then for Paul Morenon. Lednikov in the white with the red diamond is in 4th place. Then Great Kalachi, who's just ahead then of the pale blue of Billy Bathgate as they race on towards the back straight. Scottish Wind and Carlos Felix in the black jacket racing together. The back marker, Pammy, about 3 lengths adrift at this stage. She's been off since winning over hurdles last June as Pammy, as they move on down the back straight now towards the final mile of the contest. So Belle of Annandale, can she lose that maiden tag at last? She's in front then, but only about half a length or so. Smart Lass on the outside, Midge Mullen keeping tabs here on Billy Garrity this time, and racing behind in 3rd place, Simple Star, who's been running over hurdles recently, who's racing just ahead there of Lednikov, last year's winner, Dale Swift in the white and red colours, wearing the black visor, as they move down the back straight towards the final 3/4 of a mile. Billy Bathgate travelling well, just behind Great Kalachi on the inside there. Good to see Great Kalachi back, by the way. His first race since September of 2021. Still behind them is Carlos Felix, still restrained by Graham Lee, about 7 or 8 lengths off the speed at this stage. 2 lengths behind him is Scottish Wind, and Pammy being driven along a little bit outpaced on that bottom turn as they face up now to the home straight. 4 furlongs or so left to run. They pass the marker now, and Belle of Annandale still the leader. Smart Lass, though, travelling pretty nicely in 2nd. Look at Simple Star cruising just behind these 2 leaders. Then on the inside there for Paul Morenin, still on the bridle, Simple Star. Billy Bathgate closing up. Lednikov with an effort now in the visor. And wider out on the outside, the black colours of Carlos Felix, following Great Kalachi through with a challenge. They're racing up past the 2 furlong marker now. Belle of Annandale now taken on by Simple Star and Smart Lass on the outside. Carlos Felix's effort has petered out quite quickly, and it seems to be between the 2. The front 3 at the head of affairs now is Simple Star, who's in front here for Paul Morenin. Belle of Annandale is battling away bravely on the inside. Simple Star, though, too good, and goes on to win by half a length. Belle of Annandale 2nd. Back in 3rd then was Smart Lass, and Billy Bathgate stayed on for 4th.
It's a win for Simple Star, for Paul Morenin and Diane Sayre. 2nd goes to Belle of Annandale. She remains a maiden, but surely she'll lose that tag soon because she battled back in the closing stages. Smart Lass has taken 3rd place, and in 4th is Billy Bathgate. So this winner carrying those famous colours of the late and sorely missed Peter Monteith, carried nowadays by his widow Doreen Monteith, based not too far away from here at Musselburgh, of course, was Peter. We miss him sorely, based at Rosewell, and he would send out many winners on the flat and over jumps here. This Simple Star actually is a hurdler, but hasn't won in 5 attempts over hurdles. This was the breakthrough success on turf this afternoon at the 8th attempt. A winning all-weather horse. He travelled into the race really strongly. Joined issue at the 2 pole, still on the bridle. Belle of Annandale soon headed, but she battles back on the inside. Looming this side, stand side, Smart Lass, a 5-time winner on the flat and also a winning hurdler at Musselburgh. But Simple Star kept on